Hello, Johnny Peanut Sports here. What's going on, everybody? Hit that like button, help me grow, and if you're new, subscribe. I got plenty more of these draft profile videos coming out. But today, I'm going to talk about a much lesser talked about tackle. I was just kind of skipping through, checking out some other tackle prospects, and one really popped off to me, and that's Trevor Penning. He was an absolute treat to watch on tape. Now, you get flashes of high-end pass protection and just run mauling. You also get flashes of missed blocking assignments and just boneheaded penalties. But I do think the good outweighs the bad, in my opinion. He is a big-ass dude, though. He's 6'7", 320 pounds, and he has arm length of 35 inches. He is a prototypical NFL tackle. For his size, he is also a rangy guy. Now, I've talked about finishing with prospects like Ikem Ekwonu. I get glimpses of some similarity with Trevor Penning. Maybe not as consistent as Ekwonu, but he's definitely in a good place to improve in the future. I do think he can become a really good run blocker in the NFL. There's enough on tape that tells me that. When he's running up into the second level, he can get lost at times. He does block too high in other moments, which is aggravating to see those reps, because there's times when he takes good angles, makes good contact, and uses good bend in his hips and knees. I'm not sure what his problem is, if it's just inconsistency in his technique or what, but if you're talking about technique, he's great with that in the passing game. He's got a killer kick slide. He's super patient, which is nice to see with young guys. He's plenty athletic enough. Now, you could say his agility isn't top notch, but when you're his size, that's just the way it's going to be. But his athleticism and technique definitely makes up for any area where his agility, goes into the mix. He's definitely going to need to improve his leverage at the next level, that's for sure. Also, improving his punch would go a long way. But like I said earlier, he plays a little too high. Bad leverage and bad agility is not the best combination in the NFL, especially when you start playing against, edge rushers that have good bend and speed. You're going to get in trouble. But what gives me hope is Penning is a patient guy in his facets, and if he can consistently stay squared, I think he'll be okay in the long run. It also helps he has top-notch strength. When he gets his hands on you, it's done. He's got that kung fu grip, if you know what I'm saying. And he just looks comfortable at tackle. I think he's going to develop into a good pass protector in the NFL. And as mentioned earlier, he's already a really good finisher, and he's going to improve. He had a ton of holding calls last season at Northern Iowa, so that's something that needs to be worked on immediately. You can't have that in the NFL. Them holds take points off the board. They're drive killers. So to summarize, Trevor Penning has high-end strength and speed, and is a great finisher in both pass and run blocking at times. Having more of a plan when he hits the second level on run plays would go a long way with him, and not playing so high will lead to him being a very good NFL tackle. You don't have to worry about him being overpowered. He has good technique, and improving his technique in the run game can take him to a whole, let's say unseen level of play. It's hard not knowing who the next coach is going to be, so we don't know what the offensive scheme is. If the next coach comes in and the scheme is an outside zone, wide zone type of offense, I'd pass on him. I see him more in a power run gap type of offense. These O-linemen haven't tested yet, so I don't know exactly the range they'll be drafted. That's just me being honest here. So at the moment, though, I see him being drafted back half of the first round. I'd love for him to drop to the Giants in the second round somehow if that was possible. I'd pick him without a second thought in a second. So we'll have to revisit Penning after the Combine. If he comes out, though, and he has a Tristan Wirfs type of performance at the Combine, maybe a GM sees that, and combined with his size and athleticism and just grabs him as early as, 10 to 15 area of the draft. That wouldn't shock me. Listen, he's a beast. He is a big dude. Another way he gets here, maybe the Giants, take one of the draft picks, trade back. Maybe they grab him in that 10, 12 area. I know the Vikings might be looking for a quarterback. Maybe they trade up. That's just one thought, but his upside plays, when you see him, it just flashes NFL. He really does have some high-end potential. Now, with the good, you got to accept the bad. You're going to have trust in your offensive line coach and your OC that you can really work with this guy and get some things fixed out. but I like him. The Giants somehow got him middle of first or even possibly a second. If he doesn't test well on the combine, bring him in. I'll take him. I think he's going to be a good tackle one day. That's it for me. Like this video, subscribe if you're new. I'll have another one of these tomorrow, the day after, and peace.